All right, thank you for joining. Let's get into our conversation, the first conversation here on the program. The National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, plays a pivotal role in Nigeria's socio-economic development and industrialization. NASENI's mandate, which encompasses capital goods research, production, and reverse engineering, is geared towards enhancing technological innovations and fostering national economic growth, with a focus on various critical sectors, including renewable energy, machine tools and equipment, electronics and mechatronics, and laboratory equipment. The agency's concerted effort and strategic initiative have been instrumental in driving Nigeria's industrialization agenda. But what more is the agency doing? That's where we get our conversation from now. For more insight, I'm joined by the Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Mr. Khalil Suleiman Halilu. He joins us live from Abuja studio. Thank you, Mr. Halilu, for your time on the program. And good afternoon. It's good to see you.
Thank you, and good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Halilu. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you for joining us on Business Nigeria. Let's start by a brief of what you met on ground since you took over the agency. I mean, in terms of capacity and how you are picking the ball from there.
Well, as you know, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is a agency responsible or saddled with the responsibility to implement, the science and engineering policy for Nigeria, which is now the Science, Engineering and Technology, policy. What I've met upon my resumption is we have a lot of good research, in the shelves, and then we have a lot of prototypes, that have been built over the years. And of course, we have one of the highest number of engineers and scientists in the country, as a single entity. And coming from a product background from the private sector, what I see that needs to be done immediately is how we can convert those products or those prototypes into actual commercial products that we can put into the market and have an impact to the average Nigerian.
Nigeria's economy is in dire need of practical interventions to make the economy serve the people and to alleviate general poverty. What model of interventions is NASENI offering at the moment?
Well, we are looking at a model that, build the middle class for sustainability. What do I mean by build the middle class? As we're all aware, the focus of Mr. President is to create jobs, reduce pressure on the dollar, and if possible, export, goods, from Nigeria so that we can earn forex. So we have been focusing, across those three areas, but we need to understand that for a country to develop, you need to build the middle class. And that is what has been missing in Nigeria. So all the kind of interventions, that we're doing, we are looking at how we can enrich the middle class, how we can create jobs. If you are talking about agriculture, for example, on the value chain, how can we create products or engineering equipment that will intervene into that sector so that farmers will have more value for their crop. As you know, we lose a lot of value, from lack of processing and storage, in agriculture. Likewise, we're talking about the likes of, renewable energy. We are partnering with a lot of organizations, both locally and, internationally, to see how we can start, even if it's from assembly, before going into detailed manufacturing in Nigeria, and start creating jobs for those middle class that we're talking about. So our interventions are across, different sectors, science, engineering, and technology. However, the rule of thumb is, does this impact the middle class and the average Nigeria, leveraging on our small and medium enterprises. So that is what we are looking at.
Could you speak more on previous, specific interventions in the past and some low-hanging fruits that you can point to specifically for us?
Well, talking about the interventions we have in the past, we have for example, the NASENI Solar Limited, And recently, we were at COP28, where we signed a $150 million deal to build locally solar systems, one of the biggest manufacturers in the world. And we have agri-processing zones, for example, in Lafia, where we process dairy, juice and the likes. However, we're still hungry for more, and we're looking at how we can expand this and scale it to other states. Whatever model that we've tried on, we want to see how we can seed it and multiply it on different level. Because if you're talking about agriculture, most of the farmers across all geopolitical zones in the country, they are facing similar challenges around processing and the likes. And everything we're doing, we don't want to hoard our technology. The whole idea is to seed it, to the average SME or the average Nigerian, so that they can benefit from it.
Speak to us more on the contract you signed. So you signed over $100 million or so. Speak to us specifically the sectors, or which sector is likely to benefit from that, and how do you intend to invest these, this money or this fund in different sectors of the economy?
Well, this particular attraction of funding is mainly for renewable energy. So you're talking about solar home systems, you're talking about lithium batteries, and the likes. As you know, the world is making a full turnaround around fossil fuel, and Nigeria doesn't want to be left behind. And if you are talking about, in terms of resources, these raw materials that are made, whether it's been lithium or the sun, that you use for solar home systems, Nigeria or Africa as a general is the go-to place when you are talking about these resources. And we don't want to be a dumping ground, for products. We don't want to be left behind. So we're able to secure a partner, that will work together with, to establish a factory locally. Aside that $150 million, we're already working with some local partners. We've deployed over 5,000 solar home systems in a place like Nasarawa. And we're going to scale this. It was a pilot product, and we're going to scale it nationwide. And for everything that we do, we want to have a local component in it, so that, again, Nigeria doesn't become dumping ground for these products. We know the community needs it, but we also want to, take full advantage of this intervention and opportunity at the same time.
Well, the core mandate of NASENI includes nurturing an appropriate and dynamic science and engineering infrastructure base for achieving home-initiated and home-sustained industrialization for Nigeria. Could you talk to us about your current plan and the approach the agency is deploying to achieve, those plans?
Well, there's something we've introduced upon my assumption in office, which we call the 3C, which is collaboration, creation, and commercialization. We are one of the few agencies that is allowed by its mandate to go into commercialization of products. So what we have been doing is what we call the accelerated technology transfer. For example, if we are to build a factory, it will take an average of 2 years to build, equip it, and then go to market. So we are looking at how we can leverage on existing infrastructure. At the end of the day, these technologies we are going to see that to SMEs. So we are shopping for SMEs that are struggling or hardworking entrepreneurs, that we can support, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to build these things from scratch. And we can leverage on the existing infrastructure that they have built. We can also put heads together, given that we have a lot of engineers and scientists, and drive the products, come up with improved product and take it to the market. We do this through what we call like I said, accelerated technology transfer, where we do a technology transfer, whether locally or from abroad, and then we domesticate and commercialize it. And we have seen this attracting a lot of partners. I was recently at the Belt and Road Initiative in China, where we have attracted nothing less than 20 partners, coming to Nigeria, and then seeding these technologies out to domesticate it in the country, and see how we can, spread the the benefits of these technologies, for the benefit of the country. And one thing, we need to understand around this domestication and commercialization of technology is that Nigeria is a very special, country in the sense that you just don't copy and paste solutions from abroad. For it to work in the most optimal manner, you need to adopt it to our own sort of local challenges. And that is where we have, been hammering a lot and been playing a big role, where international players understand that Nigeria is not an easy ground for them. They need a local partner to work with. And we putting together our heads and creating a cycle, of local players that really understand the market and can advise, to domesticate these technologies and further seed it to small and medium enterprises.
When you talk about domestication and commercialization, perhaps you need to expand on that. Are you talking about creating a market? How to open up the market here locally for, your partners, maybe abroad, can take advantage of? Perhaps you have a market here, or are you talking about, exporting these products outside the shores of Nigeria, in tons where the country can earn in foreign currencies?
Well, we're actually talking about both. It's a two-way traffic, and today, if you look at the top 10 companies in the country, about 80% of them are local companies, and that tells you a lot. And these international investors understand that this is a tough terrain, for someone that doesn't know his way around it. So definitely, we're de-risking their investments, and also, the popular slang that says "follow who knows road," so that we make things much easier for them. But also creating value for the local, players. For so many years, and over certain products, you see that there are countries or companies abroad that are producing a lot of goods, and their biggest market is Nigeria. And we're saying that this is unacceptable. If you want us to continue patronizing, then we should have a local element, starting from assembly. And then because we don't want to have a lot of white elephant projects, and then we gradually, increase the local components in that, product. And that's the whole idea around globalization. Likewise, when you are talking about farmers, miners that are exporting their products, for cheap, how can we add value, to it before exporting? I'll give you an example of one of, the projects we are working on, which is a food traceability program. Now, a lot of people or a lot of companies that are buying commodity from Nigeria, requires to know the elements in terms of farm inputs, like fertilizer, whether it's organic or not organic, for their own consumption. And, the scary thing is by end of this year, if we don't have a traceability mechanism, to show them the actual components that were fed, to these crops, before buying, there are likely chance, that these farmers will not be able to export, those commodities. So interventions like that, creating food traceability, looking at the entire value chain and see where we can add value so that our farmers or our artisans, our miners, will benefit, from things like that. So again, like I said, it's a two-way traffic, both for bringing in technology into the country and as well as exporting technology into the country. And it's something that we need to be proud of and not, shy away about. Yes, Nigeria has something to offer, on a world stage. Today, if you are talking about our banking technology, we're easily the top 3 in terms of convenience and security. You go to, first world countries to date, it takes 2 days, to transfer money, where we do it instantly in Nigeria. So again, it's a two-way traffic that we're looking at.
All right. Talk to us about, you spoke so much about what you're doing in the area of, local product, such as manufacturing and battery. And I understand that the agency signed, an agreement with a Chinese firm to build about $150 million worth of lithium iron plan. Would you want to talk to us more about that?
Well, interestingly, Nigeria is, to ride on the two-way traffic I mentioned earlier. Nigeria is geographically located to an advantage where it can export to, South America. And I didn't know about this until, we were shopping for partners, for this renewable energy project. And this specific partner that we, were able to secure already has a market in Brazil and some of the South American, entity, which is really very interesting. And one of the challenges they had was logistics from Far East, all the way down. So we're essentially killing two birds, with one stone. One, creating jobs and adding value, to the existing mining industry that is, in Nigeria. Two, reducing logistics costs for the products that we're already going to consume locally, and of course creating jobs, for the people that are going to work in this factory, direct and indirectly, as well as exporting, to those, countries. It's a project very dear to us, and to even shorten the, the transition period from signing MOU to actually building these products. We've already, started making arrangements for immediate assembly, before doing, the full-fledged manufacturing of these products.
Mm. Some Nigerians are asking, what the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure is doing as regard innovation in agric business. I know you spoke about what you're doing a bit in terms of helping the farmers and all of that. Are you looking in that direction where, because of security, farmers can no longer go out there to farm? So what is your agency doing as regards the city? And so are you looking in that direction?
Yes, definitely we are looking in that direction. There's a project we started last year around hydroponics, where it allows people to, farm even indoors. And we'll come back to you with the details, of that project. And the whole idea is, to leverage, small spaces, like in cities you've mentioned, where you can farm vegetables, either for consumption or for commercial use. There has been that, trend around, various or different kind of vegetables, for benefits, and teas that people are growing, at home. But moving slightly away from that, if you've been following our outings recently, we've been working very, very closely, with the security agencies to see how we can boost capacity. Just about 10 days ago, we were with the Nigerian police, where we are partnering with them to revamp all their existing workshops. And the idea is they have a lot of redundant vehicles that we want to put into use, as well as convert them into cleaner energy, which is CNG and LNG. And that is one of the efforts that we're doing, to support, security. Also, we're looking forward to opening what we call our technology hub. It's in the works too. And in the next few months, we'll commission it. And the whole idea of the hub is saying that ideas are not just within NASENI. We're opening up to the public to come and work with us, in a hub where we can share ideas, exchange it, and see how we can work within a certain framework for the benefit of the nation as a whole.
I think we'll just have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive Officer at NASENI, Mr. Khalil Suleiman Halilu. Thank you for your time on Business Nigeria.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break now.